Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Uncle Larry. Happy birthday to you. He should do a speech. He always wants
I'm
a.
going to open it up if anybody has anything.
Peter, you want to say something? Somebody has to break the ice.
Happy birthday!
Come he's in the corner. We could come over here and put him a chair.
Just a happy birthday, we love you. Go ahead. Don't disappoint me.
Uh-oh.
You're gonna get it later.
We got somebody. Are you going to do a speech?
Well, we're all here to wish Uncle Larry a happy birthday. Sounds like he has a little gas.
Yeah. Oh boy.
I'm not safe anyway.
No, obviously you could tell by everybody in the room, it's a special day for a special guy. You know, think back of growing up and visiting Uncle Larry in the summer and having him explain to me that there's a witch flying around the moon. If you look really carefully, you could. And then he told me something about flying too close to the sun and melting. So I haven't done that yet. So it was a good warning. So, but anyways, we obviously we love you, Uncle Larry. Sorry for giving him the big shock when we came into the park cloud here. I could tell it was, but as you can see, you're around everyone that cares about you. So happy birthday.
When we went to California, we stayed with him. We stayed with him. Yeah.
When you think about somebody's birthday, I was thinking about boy, when's the first time I actually really remember meeting Uncle Larry? And I was 8 years old, and if we could do the math here, he was just a 24-year-old guy. And he was up at the UMass in Amherst in an apartment with his buddies, playing frisbee, having all kinds of games. Like if you get the frisbee through the tire hoop, then you get a beer. So it's one of those things. I'm going Larry never really learned how to play frisbee very well. He was awful thirsty, and really bad for him. And then as you go through life, you get just a little bit older, and we go up for the weekend. And of course, there'd be a project that you needed next day from school. And you'd always ask Larry, "Hey Larry, I need some help. Can you help me with the project?" And of course he'd say, "Absolutely. What do you need?" I said, "Well, it's a current affairs class. It's current affairs." And next thing I know, Larry says, "Well, let's go attack it." So we're down there talking about the Vietnam War, marijuana, the Republican Party, everything. And I'm writing it down like, "Oh, this is fantastic. I'm in a great class, right?" And then, of course, on the way home, I tell my dad what's going on. It's like, "Hey, I've got this great report I'm doing tomorrow." He goes, "About what?" And I told him, and he goes, "Let's turn it around." So we had to go back and say, "Hey, Larry, you should tone it down a little bit." So it's like, it was going to be quite a shock in social studies class, but it didn't get that far. I had to change the venue for that one. And the other wonderful memories that I have for Larry is usually on I like a Saturday or a Sunday afternoon. When everybody's been gone for a little bit, and Larry just opens up the big window in the kitchen and turns on his opera. And it's just a small transistor radio at that time. Usually the antenna got knocked off, and there was a coat hanger hanging out just to get some better reception. But that was good enough, and he let that thing last. You could barely hear what was really the context of the usually an Italian singer, and by that time Grampy was going, it sounds like a couple of cats fighting. And it's like, oh my goodness. So, but every single Saturday and Sunday, this is when Larry was in his element, and it was great. So it's just a little memory that I'd like to share from a guy. This is a long time ago, of course, but an 80-year-old man here that are very honored.
As Lori would say, the oldest cousin. Nice. Well, I've got a couple of different stories, and we were so lucky to be able to get out of Ludlow. I was 18 years old. I said, I'm going to go visit my grandpa, and I'm going to go to Grandpa's house. Had no idea how to get there. I never remembered the way, but I kind of knew what the house looked like. So we drove around for a long time, and I finally figured out what that house looked like, and that was my first time. After that, I started going to see Grampy, Uncle Larry, and Lori, and Auntie Linda every weekend. I had zero money. I had a car that if you could drive for 20 minutes and then you had to put more oil in it. And I had a bucket because when it rained, my feet would get wet. I had a Volkswagen 60, I think it was a 67 Volkswagen. The water would come up, my pants would get wet, everything was heavy. I'm driving in the middle of the night, no money, changing the oil, and a baby in the back seat who wasn't strapped down. We didn't have car seats. So when you hit the brakes, the baby kind of rolled into the puddle. Not good, not good. But I figured, worth a shot, you know? And we would start on a Friday night. I'd leave work, I'd get to the house, we'd play cards all weekend, have a lot of nice wine and beer. And then Sunday morning, I'd get up, Grampy would cook me breakfast. We'd have a great talk about politics. It was just the best place to be. It was life. It was really, really good. And we enjoyed every bit of it. And I grew up a lot on 12 Tewksbury Street. I was lucky enough to get all of Lori's friends as to be my friends, and all of his family to get together. And my birthday happened on the 16th of August, and Grampy's birthday was the 15th of August. So throughout my entire life, my birthday was celebrated, thank you very much, every year. I got gifts, I got cards, I got cake, I got all the attention in the world. And Uncle Larry made sure that my life has been blessed, absolutely blessed. I've got the stories, the excitement. We were lucky to live in a house that everybody lived in. Uncle Larry and Grandpa were the heart of our souls, and I don't know. It's really wonderful to be here, and I love you, Uncle Larry, and happy 80th birthday.
I'm not much of a public speaker, so I'm going to try not to make it embarrassing on myself, but Uncle Larry is the patriarch of our family, and just this morning we had to smuggle this speaker out of our house without him seeing, and I said, hey Uncle Larry, what did the garden used to look like in the backyard? And he told me all about the history of our family, interwoven in that, and if there's ever a question about our family, Uncle Larry knows the answer, and he knows how to make sure that we know that our family is so special and so full of love. And you know, 12 Tewksbury, it's not even just a place, it's just a home to anyone who, you know, wants to feel a little love and, you know, always lots of food, because I'm there. Happy birthday.
Okay, only for you, Uncle Larry, would we get up here and talk. So, we're representing representing the friends, because there are so many people that call Uncle Larry Uncle. And thank you, all of you, for sharing him with us all of these years. So let's see if I can do this without crying, because we're the emotional people. Okay, so I first met Lori when I was 16, and shortly thereafter, I went to 12 Tewksbury. And it was just the coolest place ever, right? I walked in, I'm sitting on the couch, and before I know it, Uncle Larry's coming out offering me a tuna sandwich. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like I really love this place. And so then I went home that day and I said to my parents, I'm like, my new friend has the coolest house. I'm like, it has an orange room and everything. And then I realized, and they were like, what? And I said, and there's this like great uncle who lives there, and Lori's mom, and it was just such a special place to be. And yes, it really was. And so I soon realized that it wasn't the orange room that made 12 Tewksbury cool, although that was pretty cool. It was the people that were in it. And the Mitchells have just been such a special part of my life. And Uncle Larry has just been, I tell him all the time, he's my favorite uncle. And I truly mean that, because he really is. He's just synonymous with giving. He brought my mother her favorite ice cream in the nursing home. He would put holly on my dad's grave. He knew everyone and everything that was special to each one of us. And always treated us that we were truly Lori's sisters, because we really felt like that. So I just can't, I don't think there's anybody I know in this world who gives more than Uncle Larry. And we love him so much. So, did I miss anything, my friend? Okay, so I even wrote it all out. I was trying to be spontaneous. So, I know what I did want to say. I can't say happy birthday without remembering Linda, because there's quite a few of us in the room who know that when you have a sibling, they're always with you, no matter where they are. And so she is with you today. I promised Linda, literally on one of the last days of her life, that I would always look after Lori. And I realize now I really didn't need to, because we had Uncle Larry always looking after us. And so thank you, Uncle Larry. We love you and happy birthday. All right. You waiting, Kat? She was my right man.
Hi, I'm Annie. I literally know Uncle Larry in my life. My mom's best friend was Linda. My dad's best friend was Larry, hence why I'm here. Basically, I hear stories all the time. Your house has always been my second home. I never not remember it being my other home. I remember coming over when Linda was sick and just walking in. My dad, we'd walk in, wave to you, go grab an ice cream, have a chat with you. Linda would be laying on the couch, me and my sister would go take a nap with her. My mom would come in, we'd go back, grab another ice cream from the cooler. Over the years, me and Larry have become very good friends. It's amazing just how we can go see your show. So comfortable, you're comfort for me, like honestly. Look at me. You're my second family. I'm so happy you're in my life. And then he's pulling stuff out, that's great. That's all right. But just happy birthday. Can't wait to go see a show with you. Can't wait.
I didn't really plan a big speech or eloquent words to say for this occasion, unfortunately, but I knew I had to speak because Uncle Larry, I can't even begin to think of my childhood without first remembering Friday nights that I used to spend in 12 Tewksbury where I got complete control of the TV until around 10:30 p.m., where I had to have some culture, and I had to make sure I listened to opera and musicals and whatnot, and, you know, listen to poetry and all that, and, you know, that house and those memories of you, but those memories with you were extremely formative for me. You taught me about gratitude. You taught me about appreciating the small things in life, smelling the roses, and being there for other people, even when it seems impossible. You always find a way to be there for everyone who needs you and make it to everything that you need to be to. And you always remembered every single member of the family and what they needed. And I remember going to the graveyard with you, and you would always be able to make sure to place flowers on every grave on every day that you needed to. And you watered every plant that needed to be there, because you taught me that there are some things in life that we really need to do, and there are just ways we need to be there for others. And I love you so much. You taught me so much about, how to be a good person, and you still model that for me. But from the first time I remember, from my earliest memories with you, reading when we were sick, Now We Are Six, when I was a kid, to up through college, and just every day you continue to amaze me. And I know this was kind of a chaotic speech, but I just want to make sure you know that today. Thank you. Happy birthday.
My husband did such a good job of talk, clearly. You know, so I'm so appreciative. So when I came here a couple days ago now, in California, he didn't jump in and start talking about himself. He goes, Karen, I remember back in like 1983, and that's the thing of beauty of him. He remembers things, right? He keeps those memories fresh. He keeps those memories new, and he always makes you feel special. He's like, you were pregnant out here. I'm like, thank you for the memory. But I was on my hands and knees redoing their floors, because I couldn't handle the fact that I thought they were going to fall through. If you remember the Tall Tewksbury Street, the kitchen was a little sketch. But two things I appreciate about that kitchen, though, is he always had what you wanted. I once told him I liked French fries, and every time I came, he had French fries ready to go. I once told him I liked a certain popsicle, and every time I came there, the freezer had the popsicles ready to go. I mean, his memory was brilliant and amazing, but it was just those little touches of love. He teaches you how to love in such small ways that just build and build and build. But he's reminiscing about my being there on my hands and knees, being pregnant, replacing the floors. And in my family, we would take that as you're really controlling, right? But with him, he's like, I so appreciate that you cared about our family, that you wanted to support and give something to us. It's like the way he spins things is like, I see the world in a place that people care about people. People love each other. People want to support each other. And he really helped me see the world in a different way, which has always been a joy. And Dennis talks about him every day. Dennis wears his Murphy bracelet every single day. Like, his family means so much to him. And I think it's just the way that you guys have knit it together. It truly reminds me of like when you see a tapestry, and the front of it's beautiful, but you turn it around, the back is like, hell no, right? It's a mess. But your family's tapestry is so amazing. And a big part of it is because you've kept it going. You've kept this family, you've kept the friends, you've made people feel like family. And I've always appreciated since 1980 that I've been part of that family. Even though I'm a California girl and I took your boy away. But you still loved us. So thank you so much, and happy 80.
I wasn't prepared to speak either, but listening to everybody and looking at the pictures in the kitchen and talking about the opera, it reminds me of sitting there and listening to stories, and I just love listening to stories from you. And I remember in the kitchen, whenever I'd come, he'd make chili. He'd always have chili because I love chili. And he introduced me to peanut butter and pickle sandwiches, which he also made every time I came. I didn't think I was gonna like him. He told me I'd love him, and I did. So I ate them all the time. But more than anything, just the stories and the togetherness and
you love us all so much. We love you so much, and I don't know. I'm grateful to be here and to see you, and thank you for everything.
Cheddar cheese bread. I always had that when I came to visit. Thank you. And I always knew when I jumped out of the car, I could run into your arms, and you would pick me up, turn me around, and put me down. And I knew every time I would just close my eyes and jump, and you've been holding us up like that ever since. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. Should we move on to Kate?
So, hi. I didn't prepare anything really, and it was just always in my heart, you know. So, this guy helped raise me, you know, he was there for me. And I guess the thing, you know, Patty was like, you know, had that memory of, you know, jumping up in his arms. I always had a lap to sit in. When I needed it, you know, there was some, you know, scary times growing up, you know, whatever I had going on, but he always provided a lap so I could sit in and, you know, be comforted. So that's my memory, but so many more. But he's been there for me from the beginning, and he's nurtured me, and he's helped me through so many times. But this is for you, Uncle Larry. We love you all. You know, all of us are here because we love you. So we just want to show our appreciation, and we're so glad for you. So happy birthday.
Alright, so cake, everyone good with cake? Let's do dessert.
So I want to give a big thank you to Sally and Denise, maybe not Denise. Or Denise, okay, yes. Where is she? Oh, there she is. Yeah, so thank you very much, Sally and Denise, for all the desserts. They baked like yesterday. They went all day. They were working, and Denise and her bad back, she worked through it, but Sally, she did the whip, and she made sure it happened. So, enjoy everything. Thank you all. Love you.
I want to say thank you to Bree, Kyle's girl, for doing the math. And to everybody who's here, and I love every one of you. I'm going to cry.